Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. Marcus Frazier from Teachable Tuesdays here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. Thank you for joining me today. Greatly appreciate it. Before we begin the video, I just want to say Happy Veterans Day to all our soldiers who are currently serving our country or who have served. And thank you for your service. It's not an easy job to do being in the military. I know of this personally from having family members in the military, and shout out to them as well. Shout out to all my close friends that are a part or were a part of the military, all of my co-workers, and so on and so forth. Couldn't start the video without saying that. Now, with that being said, if you could, as always, like the video, subscribe, share the video with others. Today, we're going to be doing a special video. Well, I say special more so in terms of where I'm at. You probably can't tell. Let me see if I can point the camera here so you can see. Anybody want to take a guess? Still don't know? Cool. You might be thinking I'm in Florida right now because of the palm trees. No, I'm actually in California. More specifically, San Gabriel. As the recording of this video, I'm actually on the last day of my vacation. And to be honest with you, I'm kind of sad. It's been fun. It's been very much needed. Vacations are like really good for like your mental health and to just kind of get a break away from things. So it has been a wonderful experience. Expect some vlogs to come out with this very soon. I was gonna release the first vlog today, but again, I'm on vacation. I didn't feel like editing videos and clips and stuff like that. So I told myself, you know what? I'm gonna start the vlogs next week. So with that being said, I have a somewhat short message for you this week. And this is going to be patience and how much time do we really have with patience? And does it change as you get older? Now, being patient is an act of love, as you read in the Bible. Love is patient, love is kind, so on and so forth. Y'all are familiar with that word, right? But at what point does patience run out? At what point do you begin to realize, I can't be patient about this anymore? And when I say patience, I'm more so referring to people, right? I'm not referring to things that you're working for. I'm referring to the people that are around you based on different circumstances and so on and so forth, right? I understand it's very important to be patient with people. But I'm going to be honest with you. As I'm getting older, I'm starting to realize I don't have as much patience for people like I used to, right? And I had to sit down and really think to myself, is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? And truth be told, it's neither good or bad, and actually doesn't come along with age. What it does come along with is experiences. Because look, I'm 34 years old, but you have people that are younger than me that have way less patience than what I have, right? You have people older than me that have more patience than what I have. So it really just depends on life circumstances and what you're willing to tolerate and what you're not. Now, again, do I believe in having patience with people? Yes. And the reason being is because ultimately, let's be honest, no one is perfect. No one is perfect. Nobody that currently is walking on this earth has an ounce of perfect in them. We're striving to be perfect. We're supposed to be striving to be more like Christ, but we're not perfect. So I do think because of our imperfections, we should focus on being patient with people and patient with ourselves, of course, because sometimes I don't think we give ourselves enough credit either. But there are some points to where maybe the patience will run out, and that could be acceptable. And when I say patience running out and being acceptable, I don't mean, oh, well, you just go off the deep end and crash out. I mean more so, maybe your patience might run out and you no longer are accepting of the behavior, right? Like, for example, I've gotten to the point in my life where I'm done over-explaining myself to people, right? I do think that everybody deserves an explanation. So, for example, a child does something that they're not supposed to do, and you tell them that you shouldn't do that. Now, a lot of black folk will be quick to say, don't do it because I said so. No. I do think that if the child legit does not know why they were wrong, you need to explain that to them, right? That's the old school way. Do it because I told you to do it. No. Explain the reason why they shouldn't do it. Let's start there. Now, if it continues after you've offered the explanation and then you know for a fact that they understand and they still do it and they ask why, then you can proceed to say, because I told you so. Because at this point, you know. At that point, there is no explanation because you should already know what's up. And the same thing for grown people. When somebody does something you don't like, you explain it to them and let them know, hey, I wasn't feeling it. And I think that is a level of patience that everybody deserves. That's a level of patience that everyone should have. But at the same time, good morning.
Good morning.
But at the same time, if you've already explained yourself, don't be over explaining. That's just me. And I'm learning, right? Because I'm going to be very transparent with you guys. I wasn't always like that to the point where I used to over explain too much. And my bad. And what I ended up realizing is because I was over explaining so much, I was kind of just wasting my time. I was wasting my time. I was wasting my breath. Because at the end of the day, either people going to listen or they not. And that's just something that you have to recognize. But I do believe that there are people out here that genuinely, they just make mistakes. Crap happens. You know what I'm saying? So don't be out here like crashing out on people. But at the same time, I think there is a certain worth that you have to recognize in understanding how patient or maybe not as patient that you need to be. Now, what should you do when you get to a point where you're not, or you're learning that you're not as patient as you need to be? Now, it depends. If you're not being patient to the point where, you know what, I'm no longer going to accept this behavior, then cool beans. I think that's acceptable. But if you're not being patient in terms of to the point where you feel yourself getting angry, you're about to crash out, I think you need to take a step back, breathe, pray about it, and then ask yourself, how can I communicate with this individual or these individuals in a loving manner while still being firm? Because just because you're losing patience for someone, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to go off on the deep end with them. Now, that doesn't mean you keep it into yourself, because if you keep it into yourself, what's going to end up happening is you're going to explode on that person. That's not a good thing. But you also want to make sure that you are letting it be known that, hey, I don't appreciate this behavior, or I don't appreciate how things are going. And I don't think there's anything wrong with letting that be known. And I think you can do that in a way where you're still exercising patience, but letting them know that, hey, my patience is running a little bit thin. And patience running thin doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to snap on them. What that means is several things. Number one, it can mean, hey, you will no longer have access to me if you keep this up. Or number two, I am going to set a different standard for you, put you in a different position if you continue to do this. So bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, is at the end of the day, patience has to be exercised in a manner in which it's consistent. Now, I'm going to leave you with one more thing. Marcus, how can I deal with patience with people when everybody just gets on my nerves, when people are just working me up, when this and that? People are doing so many different things that just are not right. Simple. You pray about it and you ask God to give you patience. And it's something that you practice daily, right? I talked about this on the channel a couple of weeks ago, but you know how when you have to forgive somebody, and sometimes you have to forgive them on a daily basis, maybe somebody really hurt you really bad, it's the same thing with patience. You got to practice patience on a daily basis. That's not something that just goes away. I'm sorry, let me phrase that. That's not something that just comes to you in the middle of the night. Yes, there are some people that are more patient than others, but I think what helps me out is if I was genuine and I really kept making mistakes, not choices, there's a difference, but mistakes, I would want somebody to be just as patient with me as I would be with them. All right? Marcus Frage from Teachable Tuesdays, here to motivate you, encourage you, and inspire you to be a better you. I love you guys. Hope y'all have a great day. Talk to you soon.